Hello everybody, welcome back to the Spotlight. We're going to be doing a overview of Luke Shaw's career at Manchester United. If you've ever watched the channel, you know in the past, over the last few years especially, my view on Luke Shaw and his injury record is abysmal, and I think we desperately needed a left back to come in this summer, as he cannot be relied on whatsoever. But I just wanted to get a few things about Luke Shaw. He has played a total of 251 games in the Premier League, 191 for Manchester United, and kept 69 clean sheets. We bought him in 2014, I believe, for around £34 million, 37 million euros. What I want you to do at the start of this video is tell me what you think of Luke Shaw down below. Because what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to get it up on screen, is Luke Shaw's fullback statistics going forward as a Man United player since he joined us in the Premier League, so 10 seasons ago. I'm going to compare him to a top left back of the last few years, Andy Robertson at Liverpool, Reece James from Chelsea, who's in a similar position to Shaw, a very highly rated fullback who is also constantly injured. And then I'm going to compare an old-timer but long-timer in Leighton Baines from Everton. And then again, another Chelsea fullback who's always injured, Ben Chilwell. And we're going to see where the stats are here. And because we get a lot about Rashford's a better player with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's great at crossing. Luke Shaw's a great attacking fullback. He makes us a better team when we're in it and all this lot. Let's not forget last season when Luke Shaw played, things were not great, were they? And that was when he did play. But I want to get into the stats. I don't want to make it a Luke Shaw moan video. What I want to show you is some on-paper statistics about why I don't think Luke Shaw is the answer to us going forward. Because I think fullbacks in a formation like we play and the top teams play now are critically important to get into the byline and assisting goals. And one thing Luke Shaw has not done consistently, which is a myth put out there by other big channels, is he's a great fullback going forward when he's available. So I'm going to get on the screen now Luke Shaw's statistics since 2014-15 up until last year. And you might be shocked at this. So here is the total games. 191 for Man United across the Premiership. Years. He has got 3 goals. 3, yes. Only 3. He scored, I think, is nearly as many for England as he scored for Man United, which is crazy. And 16 assists for Man United. 16 assists in 10 years. Do you think that's good for a fullback? Poor for a fullback? Average for a fullback? Tell me in the comments. Because when I first saw them stats and searched for that and started looking at it, I honestly thought it was abysmal. 10 years at the club, 3 goals, 16 assists. So let's compare him to someone comparable to him, Reece James, who's injured a lot to start off with. So here's Reece James's stats. He has only played, 5 seasons. 5 seasons and scored 7 goals and got 16 assists. So the same amount of assists and more than twice the amount of goals in half the amount of seasons. And Reece James is as injury prone as Luke Shaw. So half the amount of, he's only played 108 games. It's like nearly 50% of the games, and he's got 50% more goals and the same assists. So let's go to Ben Chilwell. Again, someone else who's similar to Luke Shaw, in and out, injured all the time. Let's have a look at his record. So in his Premier League era, he's obviously played for Leicester and Chelsea up until last season. A year less in the league than Luke Shaw, 30-ish less games, 12 goals, 18 assists. So quadruple the goal tally and more assists playing for Leicester and Chelsea in 9 years. So still less time than Luke Shaw and 30-ish less games. And now let's go to Leighton Baines, probably one of the best Premier League left backs of an era for Everton, longevity, playing for the team he did. Baines was a solid left back. Let's have a look at his statistics. So obviously Baines played from 08 to 20. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years at the top. 350 games, 29 goals, 54 assists. So way more output than Shaw. 54 assists for Baines, look. And these last couple of seasons, he barely played any games and he was absolutely past it, way further down his career than Shaw is. 54 assists, 29 goals. The goal tally compared to Shaw is insane. Absolutely crazy. And now let's go to a modern fullback who's played for one of the best teams in the Premier League and one of the best left backs of recent Premier League history. Andy Robinson of Liverpool. He's only played, 1, 2, 3, 7 seasons now in the Premier League. 10 goals, 55 assists. So again, more than 3 times the amount of goals and 55 assists compared to Luke Shaw's 16 and 3 less seasons to do it. I mean, I should have put Andy Cole in this list. I might actually get him up while I'm talking to you. See what his record was from left back. But you get my point. Us as United fans have defended Luke Shaw. Yes, he had a very, very bad injury early on in his United career, which set him back. You cannot argue with that. But since then, his career has never taken off. I think if we go back to his playing statistics, this will be this season where he got injured. Obviously, the couple of seasons after he's recovering from his injury, you can almost let him off. Here he's played plenty of games for us in this 3 seasons. And his output is terrible. 2 goals and 9 assists in his 3 best seasons for us. You know, when you compare it to the likes of Robertson, Baines, even James and Chilwell, his output going forward for a so-called attacking left back is not there. And let's not forget, these defenders up here, they're not terrible going defensively either. They're decent defensive left backs. So I don't want to hear the argument, Shaw's an amazing defensive left back. Yes, you could say he is. I, on the other hand, think he lacks concentration. I think physically he's up to the battle, but positionally, sometimes he's not there. So let's get Andy Cole up. Here he is. It's going to be... Oh, it's Ashley Cole, isn't it? What am I on about? Ashley Cole. See what his stats were from someone that people say is probably the best left back the Premier League's ever seen. If it'll show us his stats on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But I can imagine they're way better than Shaw's. But tell me in the comments, what do you think about Luke Shaw's career at United, honestly, after seeing some of the statistics on here? People like Baines, James, Chilwell, way out scoring and way out assisting him in less playing time and in less seasons. And that's to go along with Shaw's injury record, where if you look at the amount of games that he should have played over 10 years, which is 380 in the Premier League, he's played 191. He's missed something like 129 games. I worked that out earlier. It's something like he's only played 60% of all of the Premier League games we've had available since He joined us in 2014-15. Do you still think he's as good as you did prior to this video, or do you have more questions about Luke Shaw now you've seen the statistics on the screen and his output not been nowhere near what we all actually thought it was? And on that note, if you like the video, hit the like, favourite, subscribe. It's just a quick one today. I'll see you on the next one. I'll try and do some sort of match preview tomorrow for the Fulham game. If not, I'll get on after the Fulham game to talk about how we've performed, because that's what I'm more interested in, to see if there's going to be change with the new players in. Peace, see you, and sub.